I'm just so glad I never listened to those people who told me to take that video down the moment I posted it, just because I was talking about something that was just so goddamn stigmatized. We're just talking about the symptoms I was experiencing, like the overactive bladder was the one that they were telling me I shouldn't have ever talked about. And it's like, with me, I do this thing, when people tell me not to do something, I will goddamn do it. Like, I remember when I was 2 years old, my dad put me on a bed, and he was ironing his shirt, and he looked away for a second, but before he looked away, he literally looked at me, he's like, Pri, whatever you do not touch the iron. Now, with the curious Pri, of course I was going to touch the iron, but I wasn't going to touch the iron like this with one finger, no. I took my entire hand and smacked it against the iron, and I still remember doing this. But like I said, just don't tell me not to do something and I will most likely do it. So that's exactly what I did with this video, where it's like, I not only did not delete this video, but I started making more videos on top of that over and over and over again. It's like, now when I come to think about it, I'm so happy that I never stopped what I was doing, and I'm so happy that I believed in myself when I felt like the whole world was against me. Hey guys, so in this video I really want to be talking about 7 years since the unknowing and 5 with the multiple sclerosis diagnosis. Now, why I wanted to be talking about this was because I just wanted to shed some light for those of you going through a really hard time right now, whether you have a disease or just something's going on with your body and you just don't have answers yet, because I just wanted to make you guys smile, because it's just, honestly, it's a journey that I just know that you guys can get through, and I just hope this video makes you smile. And yeah. But before I begin this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We're kind of close to 5K, but not really. If you guys just keep subscribing, it will be much closer to 5K than whatever. And I say we because we're in this together. And for now, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Finally having a name to this disease called multiple sclerosis 5 years ago, there were quite a few things that I feel like I've learned that I just wanted to share with you guys. So let's just start off with number 1, ignorance is bliss. 4 years ago, I made my very first video on YouTube, which was about a 29-minute and 59-second video, but you know what, YouTube saved it as a 30-minute video, but it's okay. It's a 29-minute and 59-second video, I think. This was the video that took me about a year to film because I was terrified. I was terrified to talk about something not many people were talking about in 2017. But why? Because who was going to be the one to continue to smile, talking about all of the challenges an autoimmune disease likes to screw people over with? Well, me! When I was told to take this video down, I remember crying that very moment, because I was like, I'm trying to find people like me, and you're going to be sitting here telling me to stop trying to find people like me and just deal with the ignorant people? Hell no. Hell no. I know there's people out there that were exactly like me, and I'm just so glad I never goddamn deleted that video, because that was a video where I started making friends, because these friends were the people who were going through what I was, and that was multiple sclerosis. And over time, it started to be not just that one community, but it ended up being the overactive bladder community, ended up being the ABDL community. It's like, now when I come to think about it, I'm so happy that I never stopped what I was doing, and I'm so happy that I believed in myself when I felt like the whole world was against me.
This is the front, the side. I really like that the padding goes at the edge right here. The back, the other side, and then back to the front.
MS always made me feel like these little imperfections were things I should have been hiding, but no, these were things that needed to be destigmatized. With ignorance being bliss, people just don't get it until they get it.
It's like, I went to 6 years of university for what? I don't want to do this anymore.
It literally just implied to me that teachers would be better off being a teacher if they were able-bodied, as opposed to someone who wasn't, so someone like me, because I'm not able-bodied, I have an invisible disability, and I oftentimes find that I always have to justify myself. With the unknowing, this is quite frustrating, not just with multiple sclerosis, but just with life in general. The unknowing is what just irritates me, because it's like, I like knowing where things are headed, but you're not going to always know where things are headed, because with MS, I've already prepared myself to the point where it's like, when I got diagnosed at 19, I told myself I'd be using a mobility device at some point, that would be soon, in which I use a cane now, and I feel like that's what made the transition from not using a cane to a cane not as difficult on me. But I've also prepared myself to use a wheelchair, because I know that day is coming. I know that day is coming. I have a feeling it's going to come maybe when I'm in my 30s. You know what, maybe that day is going to come tomorrow, because MS just like with your mind. But anyways, whatever it is, I'd be happy only because I know I get to live. And I know that some people have life easy and some people don't. And I'm just one of the few that just doesn't. It's okay, because I get to live, and I just can never complain about the unknowing or not knowing why my body's acting a certain way, because I still get to live. It's just all I need to do is study my body and all of that stuff, right? It's not really something you can really talk to people about, in that, I mean, you can talk to me about it if you want, but there's not a lot of people to talk about the unknowing with, because with the unknowing, you're just never going to have answers. Like, one of the questions I'm always wondering, and I know people who also have MS also wonder too, is why do we have MS? Or like, why do certain people get certain diseases? Like, what makes us the most vulnerable? Because at a certain point, I was like, maybe it's because I've already experienced depression twice, and my brain just knew to with me. So they're like, oh, you know what? Let's give pre-MS, because she seems so vulnerable being depressed twice. So we're gonna give pre-MS, and then bam, the lesions are in my brain. The unknowing. Like, another thing I could think about is when I'm walking. The unknowing. I don't know when I'll fall down walking, but it'll just happen just like that. And I'm not gonna lie, since I've been using a cane for about, I think it's been about since November of last year, I haven't fallen down walking. Like, I have tripped, but the cane has always supported me. The same support someone would give you if they were linking arms with you or holding your hand, but I didn't need that. I just needed a goddamn inanimate object. Yeah. I have another one coming on the way, because someone made this comment to me the other day, and I was so ignorant, and I was like, man, I need another cane. And I got another cane, and it's purple. It's going to be coming on Friday, and I'm really excited because that's going to have a bow on it too. My diagnosis was a moment where I realized that I needed to become more self-aware, and I needed to study my body a lot more than I was. Because for me, I went vegan the 1st of January of 2019. Going vegan honestly felt like it was my way to understand my body, but also it was my way to understand society in a way, where it was like, animals are treated so horribly, and I just was so against that, because the whole animal agriculture, it just really frustrates me. With having multiple sclerosis, having a first for everything was what was really terrifying for me, because it was like, damn, like, the one thing I could think about is the first time falling down on absolutely nothing. And it's like, when it first happens, you're just like, what the hell did I trip on? You look at the pavement, it's like a smooth pavement, and in your head you're thinking, did I just trip on air? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's like, it makes you feel like you're mental, especially when you don't have a diagnosis. And it's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It's like, once you have answers is when things kind of like make sense to you, but then you start questioning why your body just hates you. And let's not forget about wetting yourself outside in public for the very first goddamn time, because that honestly was so traumatizing, being the one getting out of the elevator with a wet bum at 19, and people are looking at you like, is she? And it's like, yeah, she's peeing. And with only discovering protection 2 years after my multiple sclerosis diagnosis, given that I started having an overactive bladder the moment I got diagnosed, yeah, let's just say there's a first for everything, because goddamn, I spent 2 years in fear that I was gonna wet myself every single time I was outside, and that's what happened every goddamn time. But I didn't know protection existed for young people like me. So I was like, oh my gosh, no one's talking about this, I don't know what to do.
This is why people don't like wearing pull-ups, because things like this gives them anxiety. With being able to fit into a box that gets delivered to your door of pull-ups that you don't even goddamn want to wear, but you have no choice but to wear them, because why? Well, you're just gonna wet yourself if you don't. I'm not sure if I put this on properly. I literally feel like I'm sitting in gift wrap. Like, even, oh my gosh. Okay, how do I? Oh no, the tape. I've been working with kids for this long. How am I still struggling to put on a diaper? Okay. I don't feel like this is as secure as the Depends I've tried on before. Like, I still feel like there's so much space here. Like, I know I could have just tied it a little tighter, but no. Oh, do you just have to tie it tighter? I'm so uncomfortable with this though. Like, I feel so nervous about it popping off while I'm wearing a skirt. And it's just ending up on the ground. Oh my gosh.
Now to me, I thought I was putting the diaper on the correct way. Why? Because I actually never wore these diapers when I went out, right? Because I was only trying them on before I did a review on them. But something about it just honestly just didn't feel right for me. Up until the over 20k of you who viewed that video that I just posted last week, you guys commented under my video just to tell me that, Pri, you put the diaper on backwards. That's why it didn't feel right for you. And there I was like, oh my gosh. I wasn't embarrassed about the fact that the 20k of you watched that video, but I was embarrassed about the fact that about 3 years ago, I had to change a diaper on a 2-year-old boy who doesn't even speak or doesn't say anything, right? Because he's still learning his vocabulary and whatever, so he wasn't really going to help me put this diaper on. So I put this diaper on this little boy, and I remember feeling so distraught about the whole situation because I just didn't know which way the diaper went. So by the time I put the diaper on, I put his bottoms up, and then he walked away from me. But even when he was walking away from me, he looked so uncomfortable. But to me, I didn't realize that, you know what, Pri? I think you put the diaper on backwards on him until 3 years later, until I filmed that video last week. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, like, it literally took me 3 years to realize I put the diaper on backwards on that 2-year-old boy. And then I was actually laughing about the whole situation because I was like, imagine being a parent, having a kid come home to you and you're about to change their diaper, but the diaper they already have on is put on backwards. They're probably thinking, who in the right mind put your diapers on the wrong way? Well, yeah, that idiot was me, in case you were wondering. So, yeah. I just want the community who needs diapers to find my video and just know that it's okay to wear it, because what is the alternative? Wetting yourself outside in public or wetting yourself in bed? It's just not worth it because it takes so much on your mental health and it's not something a lot of people think about. There's a few of you guys who have actually asked me, Pri, I wet myself sometimes. Should I be wearing protection? Yes. If it's happened once, it's going to happen twice, it's going to happen 3 times, and it's going to happen 100 more times after that. Just please wear protection because it's something I wish someone had told me, but no one goddamn told me that. You know, 4 years ago, oh my gosh, I can't speak. I chose the thumbnail I did was because the word breathe, I actually got 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It was shortly after my multiple sclerosis diagnosis, and this was just a word that I felt like I needed to see just to remind myself to breathe because I also had brain fog a lot. But there's a lot of stressful situations when you're first going through a disease and then you just kind of psych yourself out. So yeah, just being able to see this every single time I was in school, writing with my hand. Well, what else are you going to write with your foot? I'm sorry, okay, these are the things I crop out because, oh my gosh, I need to stop talking, okay. That said, I do have a few videos up trying on adult diapers for my overactive bladder. But goddamn, I never thought this day would come because I can finally say I came to peace with myself after 5 years of having multiple sclerosis. I'm like, I can't breathe sometimes. Like I talk too fast and then I forget how to speak. Okay.